started, but ever since I was a little kid, my parents always had me on the rink. It was just a part of who I was. Ever since around the age of 3, I always had a stick in my hand and skates on my feet. That's kind of how it was for a while. Throughout my childhood, I would spend the late nights at the rink and spend the early mornings at the rink. Ice hockey to me was more than just a sport. It was just who I was. I trained for it, just for it, exclusively, for a very long time in my life. But then when I got into middle school, a friend of mine turned me on to this sport called lacrosse. And lacrosse to me, it has a lot of elements of hockey, which I loved, but also there was a challenge to it that I hadn't felt before. It was something that I loved immensely, and throughout middle school and the beginning of high school, those are my two sports. Those two sports, that was who I was. It was lacrosse and hockey, and training for them became a training for lacrosse and training for hockey instead of just hockey like it used to be. But then when I realized hockey's not necessarily the best thing for lacrosse, I spent a lot of time injured at the beginning of lacrosse season because of my ankles and my knees, because hockey immobilizes those joints and you move in hockey a different way than you do in lacrosse. Skating is not running. And so when I came to Exeter, I kind of realized that I didn't have as much of a future in hockey, but that at the time wasn't really a reason to stop. But when hockey started to influence my lacrosse, and lacrosse became more and more important to me, I realized that I had to make the tough decision and stop playing hockey. And it was really tough at times. Like I remember the first year I stopped, I would spend a lot of time at the rink watching the team, just trying to see like the guys and feel like I'm still part of it, but I obviously wasn't. But over time, the training was worth it, as I now, lacrosse to me has become so much more. I'm going to college, and I'm going to be playing lacrosse in college, and lacrosse has kind of replaced hockey in what it was for me in the beginning of my life to what it is now.